My dear students, very good morning to all. I am Dr. Sanjeev Punia. In this subject, computer architecture, under topic register transfer and microoperation. In last lecture, we studied about register transfer language and register transfer. We discuss about what are registers, what is register transfer language, and how the data is going to be transferred between the registers. In today's class, we will discuss about bus and memory transfer. Means first we will discuss about the bus, that what is a bus. Then we will discuss about the transfer in a bus. Later, we will discuss about the memory and how we can transfer the data between the memory. So let's first try to understand that what's the bus. A bus is a group of wires. A bus is a group of wires for what? To transfer the data. To transfer the data or information. But we have to transfer the data. Okay, we came to know that this is our content, but where? From any source to any destination. From any source to any destination. We can take an example over here that in real life, when we are considering about the bus, then bus is a collection of seats in which data means passengers are going to be transferred means passengers are going to be transferred from one location to another location. The name is derived, the name of bus is derived from the real life bus, and the working of this bus is also the same as the real bus. So the bus is a group of wires by which we have to transfer the data. We have to transfer the information. We will try to understand from here. This is a register A, this is a register B, this is register C, and this is another register D. So there is a bus, there is a line, there is a line, this is a line, this is a common bus, this is a common bus that contains or that is the collection of this bus means it can take the data from register D, from register C, from register B, or from register A. So when we are discussing the example of bus over here, then these are different registers: register A, register B, register C, and register D. So this bus, this is a wire, this is a wire. It can be a single wire or a collection of wire, but at this point we are studying a collection of wires, so this is the reason we are saying bus. So this bus can transfer the data of register C, register D, B, or A, or all the registers or at a time, or the different combinations of the register, like combination of register A and B at a time, register C at another time, and register D at another time. Means to transfer the data from one location to another location, one location to another location. Now we will try to understand that how data is going to be transferred. till now we try to understand that what's the bus. I hope so that the concept of bus will be clear to now everyone. So now we will discuss about the process that how the data is going to be transferred from one location to another location by using bus. See, these are multiplexers. We studies and we revise also the multiplexer. This is the reason that I revised a lot of things in of digital electronics, because I know that many of the things of digital electronics we have to use over here. So in revision class, I discuss about the multiplexers also. Multiplexer is a device. This is over here. If I am discussing about this multiplexer, so this is a multiplexer. This is a multiplexer of 4:1, means it can take the data from any four line, any of these four line, and can put the data on one line. Means it can send the data of any one line, to this line at a single time, This is done by the selection line. This is a selection line X and this is selection line Y. So which data we have to take? This is A1. This is A1. So which data we have to select? A1, B1, C1 or D1? It will depend on selection lines. When the selection line is 0, 0, means we have to select A0. We have to select this one. So means there are four different combinations when we have two lines. This is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1, means we can select from four different inputs one at a time, and the same value we can pass over here. So we can see by selecting these two lines, I am not going to draw this diagram completely. Otherwise, what should be happen? I should connect this one. I should connect this one over here, this over here, this one here, and the third bit of this is over here, and fourth bit of this is over here, as I have drawn these. What I can do, I can transfer the data of a register, complete data of register at a time by using these different multiplexers. Mean I will take this bit by using this multiplexer, this bit by using this multiplexer, means complete data I can transfer in a single clock pulse. So these are four line bus. One line is coming from this, one line is coming from this multiplexer. So these all four bits I can take at bus over here. Now these are two lines, X1 and X and Y are these two lines, that which register A, B, C or D, which one we have to select. So this is the way in which we can transfer the data from one place to another place by using the bus systems. This is another example. In this example, we are using a decoder. I told you about the decoder also. Decoder, as in multiplexer in the last slide we saw that this is of 4:1 multiplexer. 4:1 multiplexer. It means 4 input line and 1 output line. It can be, this is MUX. Then demultiplexer means one input and many output. One input and many output. In multiplexer, many output and many input and one output. Same in case of coder and decoder also. Same in case of decoder and encoder also, as we are seeing over here. This is a decoder 2:4, means we are taking the data from the two lines. We are taking the data from the two lines, means input two lines, input are two and outputs are 4 line. As we know that this is 2 raised to the power 2, that is 2 raised to the power 2 is 4, means the data of 2 units, the data of 2 digits we can pass over here. So when we have to transfer the data, when we have to transfer this data by using D0, D1, D2 or D3, so the selection line decide that we have to use D0, D1, D2 or D3. Suppose I say that this is 0, 0. This is 0, 0. It means 0, 0 means total is 0, means it's going to use the register R0. When this is 0, 1, when this is 0, 1 means it's going to select this register. Again 1, 0 this one and 1, 1 this one. But it can be in the high impedance. I told you about the E. E is for enable. When this circuit, when the value of this is 1, it means this circuit or this decoder is going to perform its operation. Otherwise, it will not perform its operation. Like on off switch. So this enable works like an on off switch. When we are discussing about the bus, then bus can be in high impedance. High impedance means we are not using that bus at all. We are not using the bus at all. This is a input A. This is a input A. This is a control line. This is a control line C. This is control line C. The output, suppose this is Y. Suppose output is represented by Y. So Y is equals to A. Y is equals to A means this will be at the output when C means control input is equals to 1. Otherwise, it will be in high impedance state. Means this bus will not work. This bus will not work when this is in high impedance stage. We will try to see the bus line with 3 states buffer. This is the same we discussed in the last, that is decoder 2:4 decoder. We discuss in the last slide, sorry. So these are the selection by which it will depend that which one we have to select. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the enable line. This is the enable line, and it's when it is enabled. When it is enabled means the circuit is in active position. Then it decides, the selection line decide that which one should be in high impedance or which one should not be in high impedance. But at a time only one will be in high impedance, either this one or this one. So this was about the bus buffers and the impedances. Now, in the we are discussing over here bus transfer, how that the data, how we can representing the things when we have to transfer the data from the bus. So depending on whether we are mentioning a bus or not, as in the last lecture I told you that R1, this is R2. Okay, leave this, we will see this example. We discussed this in the last lectures. This represent that the content of R1, the content of R1 register is going to be transferred or going to be copied from R1 to R2. It represent that content of register R1 is going to be copied to register R2. We does not represent it that we are using the buses. Either we are going to represent it that we are using buses or not, but we are using the bus internally. What happens when I am saying that I am going to transfer the data from R1 to R2, means first of all I have to put this data somewhere on the buses, somewhere on the buses that is used to carry that data. So we put the content of register R1 on the bus. Then this bus will put the content, this and this is the same thing. So this bus is putting the content or copying this content to R2. So when we are saying R1 to R2, it means R1 is sending the data, to the bus, and bus is going to send the data to R2, sorry. So we are explicitly writing or not, it's not the matter, but bus is going to be used if we are writing in like this also. So in the format case, the bus is implicit, means we are not representing the bus, but in the later case we are representing the bus, that the content of R1 is going to be pasted in bus 1, in bus, then from bus to R2. So this is explicit representation and this is implicit representation. So representation can be, there is no need when we are saying R1 R2, so there is no need to say that we have to use the bus. Now we discuss about the bus and the transfer of data through the bus. Now we will discuss about the memory. So first we will discuss about memory and then we will discuss about the transfer of data between memory to memory, memory to register, or register to memory. And we will see different type of memories also. So when we are saying a memory means a RAM. Memory means a RAM. Only and only primary memory. When we are saying a memory, it means primary memory, not secondary memory. Keep this thing in the mind. We are talking about primary memory and it is represented by M. It is represented by M. we know that memory is used to store the data, and the data is going to stored in registers by using the flip-flops. So register is a collection of flip-flops, whereas memory is a collection of registers. So memory can be thought as a sequential circuit. Why sequential circuit? We discuss about it that when we have to store the data is going to be stored through sequential circuits, and the combinational circuit, there is no memory part in combinational circuit. Some number of registers. These registers hold the words of memory. Means in these registers we have to save the data. Each of the register are, we are saying, suppose there is a memory, this one, it contains 5 registers. So we will say R0, R1, R2, like this. These addresses range from 0 to R minus 1. If there are n registers, then we will say this is from 0 to n minus 1. I told you that here we generally starts the values from 0, and there is one reason behind it. When we have two selection lines, we have two variables, suppose a and b, then the values of these can be 0 0 0 0 0 1 1 0 and 1 1. So when we are try to find out the decimal equivalent of this binary, so this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. So this is the reason that we are using 0 to 3. So 0 to n minus 1. This is the reason that we start from 0. Each of register R is indicated by an address, means each and every register has its address. These addresses are ranges from 0 to R minus 1, as I told you. Each register word can hold n number of bits. In a register, in an individual register, there can be n number of bits. So in a short, memory is a collection of registers. Suppose this is a memory, it is represented by M. This is a collection of registers. Suppose it contains R registers, combinations of R registers like this, then it will from 0 to R minus 1. 0 to R minus 1. And each register may contain n number of bits. Each register may contain n number of bits. So I hope it will be clear till memory. Now we will discuss that how much data we can store, or how much number of bits we can store in a memory. In last slide, I told you that memory means only and only primary memory. That is random access memory or read-only memory. But we are not discussing about ROM, that is read-only memory, because we cannot change the data in the ROM. This is permanent. So when we have to process a program, when we have to process an operation, then we can change the content in RAM accordingly. So in case of memory, we have to discuss about the primary memory, that is RAM. Suppose this contains R registers. This contains R registers. As I told you, this is 0 to R minus 1. R minus 1. Total R registers. Then I want to find that how much number of words it can be stored. It can be stored. So it can store 2k words. It can store 2k words. Now I am telling you what is k. What is k? Actually, k is the number of lines over here. Because on a line, either I can put 0 or I can put 1. Either I can put 0 or I can put 1. So n data input lines, n is the data input line in a memory, and n total number of input lines are equals to total number of output lines. K are the address lines. K are the address lines. Those are need to access the values of the input lines, or one have to write the data to the output lines. Means these address lines are used to access these data lines. Either those may be input or those may be output. There may be one read signal that says that okay, you have to read now, and one will be write signal, because there should be some instruction to tell that we have to read the data from the address line or we have to write the data to the address line. So there should be two control lines. There should be two control lines where read represents that when this signal, control signal, when read control line signal is high, means now the data has to be read, and when write control signal is high, it means that the data is going to be right on the data lines. So this is the discussion about the memory, that what happens inside memory and how the lines has to be defined and how we can use the lines over there. Now, memory address register. It is also called, we will discuss some registers, those are inside the memory. These registers are used when we have to perform some operations. So memory address register, this is also represented by MAR or only by AR, address register. We represented it by MAR, that is memory address register, or AR only. As the name suggests, it shows that this is a memory that contains the address, of a register containing the address of memory location. So this is a register that contains the address of memory location. Suppose this is a register MAR, as we saw here, M memory address register. So now this is a register, and it store the address of a memory. When memory is accessed, the content of MAR, memory address register, gets sent to the memory unit address line. when we have to access the memory, then we put the content of memory address register to the address line. This is the MAR, memory address register. When we have to access, this is memory unit. When we have to access this, then we put the content of MAR to the lines, to the address lines. That this is the address from where we have to perform an operation. Because every operation, we have to tell the details that what we have to do, and explicitly, because human being can be understand in the in short, but this is not the case with the computers. We have to explain each and everything step by step and in detail. So this is the example of memory address register to read a value from a location in memory. This is used to read a value from a location in the memory. So this is register R1, means we are accessing the content of this memory. We are accessing the content of this memory and putting that content to R1. This cause the following to occur. The content of MAR gets sent to memory address lines. When read is equals to 1, gets sent to memory unit. The content of the specified address are put on the memory output data lines. These gets sent over the bus to loaded into the register R1. In the simple word, when we have to transfer the memory content at this register, then we put the address of this, and the content from this memory location will be transferred to or copied to R1. This happens in the case of memory address register. Means in memory address register, we have to put the address of a memory. These are also some specifications or some representations. Some representations we discussed earlier also in the case of registers, when we discuss about the registers, that registers are represented by R or R1 or like this. So we are seeing some specific registers, those are related with memory. So this is AR, this is called address register. This is the address register. DR, data register, means in this registers we contain the data, or this DR register is used to contain the data. AR register, as we study in the last slide, this, this one. Here we study that MAR, memory address register, is represented by MAR or AR, and this stores the address of register. So I wrote this again over here, that this is DR, data register, and AR. Either I can write MAR or AR. Either we can write MAR or AR. So memory address register, in this register we put the address of a memory. In this register we put the data. When we are writing A. This is a register A, and this is any constant. For an example, this is 15. So when we have to transfer a value, when we have to transfer a constant value to any register, then we can write it directly that transfer this value to register A. So transfer a binary constant, leave at this time binary, because everything, whatever we are doing inside the computer organization, computer architecture, that has to be happened in binary. So leave the word, don't confuse with the word binary. So transfer a constant into register A. This we discussed earlier, that transfer the content of register B. Transfer the content of register B to register A. It shows that DR is data register. This is DR, data register, and this is address register. This is address register. Means we will start from here. Transfer content of register DR. Transfer content of register DR, only AD portion. Only AD portion means lower portion into register AR. Means when we have to transfer only some part, not the complete data of a register. Suppose in this register, DR register, there are some values. There are, for example, this is a 16-bit register. Then we can access this one. We can access this one. We discussed this thing earlier, that we can use the register as a whole one, means as a single quantity, as a part, or as single bits. So when we are using this in the different partitions. So this is R1 A bus, means transfer the content of register R1 into bus A, as well as same the time, as well as I told you that this comma is used when we have to perform several operations simultaneously. Then when the data of R1 is going to be transferred to bus A, and at the same time, the content of bus A is going to be transferred to register B. This is MR, memory word specification by register R, memory word specified by register R. This is M equivalent to MAR. This is equivalent to MAR. Means address of memory M. Address of memory M. This is MDR, means this is memory read operation. This is memory read operation, means transfer content of memory word to specified by AR into DR. So it puts the content of memory to data register, and here the content of data register is going to be transferred to memory. So if I will revise it, then AR or MAR, memory address registers, this is data registers. This is used when we have to transfer a constant value to register A. This is used to transfer the content of register B to register A. This is used to transfer the content of DR in partition. In partition means some part of data to AR. These two are happening simultaneously, means R1 content of R1 to bus and content of bus to R2. This is represented by memory. For memory, this is to put the memory content into the data register, and this is used to write the content of their data registers to memory. This was about the memory transfer. Some registers we discuss over here. In next lecture, we will discuss about micro operations. For an example, arithmetic micro operations, logic micro operations, and shift micro operations. So thank you. Thanks a lot.